Elf. Pretty interesting draft order here. So we don't know the god or the map that's being played on yet, but this is pretty much what was expected for the top priority of gods being picked. Although I am surprised to see Ra fall all the way through this draft, so maybe neither of these players really focusing on that pick. I do feel like Ra is incredibly powerful right now, so I am surprised to see that drop to the wayside. And it seems like the set Slinger Mass, it's strong, but that seems like it was a flavor of the day type thing more so than flavor of the week, because we haven't seen any sort of set priority at this point. No one really opting into that one, which I hope we do see at least one set game, because I think that is an incredibly fun god to watch. And I'll go ahead and open up. Let me get ready to get into the game. And thank you everyone for bearing with us on the stream. I'm excited for us to get some interviews going too for the later rounds, but we figured for the quarterfinals we won't do any interviews because it could take a long time. All right, browsing games. Link in bio. And just as a reminder, I'll go ahead and pull up the bracket again really quick here so everyone can see where we're sitting. We don't have it updated with the winners at this point, but you can pull up the bracket. So at this point, we did have Pegasus win in the bottom, and we also had Vortex win here. So the winner of this match will take on Vortex inside of the semifinals, and the winner of the next quarterfinal will take on Pegasus inside of the semifinals. So we may have some inter-team rivalries happening here. We'll just have to see, and I'll try and update this as we go, but I know Jay is updating the Liquipedia page as well, and now we do have this nice scoreboard that's going to be shown at the top, so that'll be nice as well. So thank you for sending that out. Super helpful to help make this stream as smooth as possible. Looks like they're getting the lobby set up still. So let's talk about our players here really quick. We've got everything prepared for them, so I could talk about both these players at length, I think. So we've got Grass on one side here, placed very highly in the Red Bull Wololo recently, getting that 3rd/4th place spot. We do have a 3rd place match for this tournament. There was not one in the Red Bull Wololo, but Grass, newer to the scene, younger player out here, really climb into the ladder at a very young age. And yes, that the year, that makes me a little unsettled too. I think I'm getting a bit old at this point.
We feel old, man. We feel
a little bit old at this point. Yeah, that's
all right. Well, we do have the matchup announced for game 1 of this quarterfinal. We are going to be playing on the map Marsh.
Marsh? Hell yeah.
First time Marsh is coming into the tournament. No, hold up.
It's not Marsh? I'll go back to Ulysses then, because I want to talk about Ulysses. The top gods picked here.
It's not Marsh.
Oranos.
Mistake made.
I think Oranos is an interesting one, because I'm pretty sure Grass might have taken that as a ban rather than a pick, trying to deny that Oranos pick. But we have seen Grass play some very successful Oranos himself, so maybe he's taken it for himself there. But other things, Odin and Hades, neither of those actually picked up. Actually, no, we did get Odin, but we did not get Hades picked up for Ulysses either. So Grass actually denying 2 of his most played gods. Pretty nice move there.
We are playing on Anatolia, where Grass is playing Isis. And
okay.
Ulysses is playing Thor.
Wait, I thought Anatolia was banned.
Wait, hold up. It is Marsh. It is Marsh. I apologize.
Okay.
I got it mixed up, the text messages there, but it is Marsh map. Yes.
Okay, and what are our gods?
We have Ulysses on Thor.
Nice.
And Grass on Isis.
Nice. Okay. Another matchup with these two. Egyptian versus Norse seems to be the theme of the day. And let me check and see if we've got that tournament lobby open.
Tournament lobby should be open very soon, if not already. It has the same credentials and same password as normal.
Okay.
Same exact name.
All right, just checking for it. Jay, who are you taking in this matchup? I feel like this is the tough one because both of us want to root for these players so bad. What about the chat? What do you guys think? Who are we rooting for here?
Privately, I told both players that they're 2 of our favorite to cast. We love Ulysses on this channel. We've done 4 videos of him. We love Grass, a young star in the making for this entire genre of games, not just AOM. I can't pick, Matt. I can't pick. I love both of them. I really do.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm checking for the lobby. I'm excited to get into this one. I think this is maybe the matchup I was looking the most forward to. It's either this one or the next one, though, because our next matchup is a bit of a run back of Wololo. So some very big names in that next matchup. Is this casted on YouTube as well? It will be. We'll be doing uploads. We'll also be posting the replay files to all of these. We'll post those in the Discord and aom.gg. Something also, Jay, just to keep in mind as we're going through, get the replay files. Maybe I can get them as the spectator, though. Actually, I might be able to do that. I'll have to check on that.
We can as the spectator. Yeah, we'll get them uploaded.
All right, I haven't seen a lobby yet.
Go ahead and try now with the name that I put there. It should work now.
Okay. Is it just?
Hey,
There's got to be a better way to do this, isn't there?
There has to be, but unfortunately, because we don't have access towards a private server, we're left to our devices with tech on the side.
Okay, and it's named Underworld?
Underworld, yes.
Did they make it spectatable?
Or under show. I'm sorry, I fucked up the type. Do you see it in the?
Can we just?
I totally
the same thing each time. Come on, Jay.
Jay messed up. Jay messed up. Oh, and we have a surprise guest joining us for this series. Actually, Husk wants to join the broadcast.
Let's get him in. My voice needs rest. I found the game. Husk, are you in here?
Husk will be dragged in just a second. He's joining the lobby to be moved in. Do a quick mic check, and Husk, one of the best players, and honestly, one of the best personalities of AOM, of the Phantom Aces as well, joining us for this.
All right, well, I have the replay ready. If you want to go grab him, Jay, I can go ahead and kick us off for the game. Let's not leave everyone waiting too long. All right, and we are going in. I showed the password. Jay, you'll have to reset that.
Yeah, we will change that next game.
I made a mistake.
And on the broadcast is Soup, my boy. Welcome to the broadcast.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll introduce
Hello.
Grass. Spawning of the South, we've got Aces Grass playing as Isis and Soup. How about you take us away?
Yeah, we're jumping right into it. What do we have? We've got
We got Ulysses on
playing
Thor.
Thor on Tundra. We've got Grassengroom playing Isis, obviously on Tundra too. It's going to be exciting.
So tell us, Soup, what do you think about the Tundra map? We haven't seen it yet in the tournament, but this is one of the maps that's going to be on Genesis, and it has a lot of variability compared to other maps in this pool. What are your thoughts on it as a pro player?
The big thing that makes Tundra different than every other map is the fact that you start with 2 hunting packs.
Mm-hmm.
So you see there are no chicken, but we have 2 hunting packs. So what I think is that Norse should be very good here, and Odin in particular with the Great Hunt. You can save it for Classical very easily. And yeah, Isis is another great pick because you can go really fast heroic very safely. So it's a small difference that makes Tundra unique from other maps. But I think all in all, it's actually going to make Tundra play in many ways very differently than other maps.
Definitely, having that second hunt secures a strong food presence where you don't have to transition into farms or secure a second hunt. So you have that ability just to scale pretty quickly, which plays in the Egyptian favor. Matt, what do you think about having a Norse god with that type of parameter?
You know, I'm kind of surprised because we did have Odin drafted, and I feel like with the double hunt, it almost seems too obvious. Maybe there's something I'm missing there for picking Odin in this matchup, or maybe Thor's just that good, where we really just want to get Thor anyways, despite having that extra hunt available for Odin. But yeah, as the Norse, having extra meat, you can pull it all in with the Berserk or with your villagers. You don't even need that ox cart early on, and just having that extra food supply. I mean, it's beneficial for everyone, but I could see how it has more of an impact on the Norse.
Definitely, and shout out to Primordius, who is saying that Soup should have won the match. Her daughter says that you're her favorite AOM player. So shout out to Primordius's daughter, who supports Soup.
Yeah, big shout out to you. Love getting fan mail from the younger audience too.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
since we've got a pretty standard opening on both sides, I'm curious, what did you think about your previous match, Soup?
It was a really good match. I thought it was 3 really good games, and Vortex played it very well. Started off really well with the Heimdall pick. I think caught him off guard.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped his second TC and with the Undermine, and then the second Underminer stopped his Fortress. So the Heimdall, I also got Rix Tula and the Safeguard, so I got so much value from the Heimdall pick.
I love the safeguard tech and getting a bunch of towers out. It's something that we really don't see, but I've been saying I think towers are kind of underrated right now, and with that unique tech, getting them so cheap, we could see how effective that was for you.
Yeah, because I was under a lot of pressure in the mid game when he sent his army forward, and I just built some towers, and I don't have to worry about it. I thought it was kind of neat.
Yeah, it's really cool tech.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What type of relics are we looking at this map?
Yeah, I'll take a quick peek. So we got them pretty much all in the corners. We got siege weapons, bonus damage, not really. I feel like the siege relics never really have an impact. Line of sight, decent relic there. Hero speed, very good relic if we get that for Thor. And then we've got reduced the favor cost of fortress type buildings, very good for Isis if we get there. So those are kind of the cream of the crop relics for this game, I think. And with Thor and the Hammer of Thunder, and I imagine we're going to get Hall of Thanes. We'll have to see when he actually ages up. Yep, we have Foresti, so Hall of Thanes available for the Herser. Those are going to be some fast heroes.
Yeah, I love getting that with Thor or Loki. It's having those fast Hersers, and you can add in Herdman when you're against Isis, because there's a very high likelihood there's going to be Migdal units mixed in. So just having Herdman and Hersers, I love that unit composition.
And I'd love to get your thoughts, Soup, because we kind of saw for really what felt like only a couple of days, a lot of classical age slinger rush from Egyptians, but I feel like we're not seeing it anymore. Was it fake OP, and it just took people a little bit to figure it out?
Well, it's the fact that we don't have god bands now, so we do see a lot of Thor, we do see a lot of Uranus if you have an Atlantean main, and then, I don't know, I guess people are still just more comfortable with Norse than they are with Ra. I consider, that's the reason I would pick Norse over Ra anyways.
Yeah, I feel like...
I will say, if you haven't watched Soup's video and guide on Ra, then you definitely should, because if you're looking to pick up a new god, it does a fantastic job at any elo level for you just to be able to understand that god very effectively and just learn how to play Ra as well as Egyptian gods in general. So definitely check out Soup's video that he posted.
I agree. The cinematics alone made that video worth it. Those were so cool.
I appreciate it.
Right down to, I forget the hero's name, but her dancing the entire time.
Every unit in the game has an animation like that. It's basically when they're being shockwaved or meteored or tornado or whatever, and they have like a flail animation. Yeah. I just put that on.
That's nice. That's
very nice. Good production value.
Well, we do see second TC coming up for Ulysses, coming up pretty quick here. No sign of a second TC on the other side. Instead, we're looking at fast heroic. So pretty much what you expect from Isis. We've got Ancestors Eclipse coming out. And I do actually really like second TC into that, because in some ways you almost have to kind of accept that one of your bases is going to be utterly destroyed by that combo. So you might as well have another one to fall back on.
We did see a recent nerf to Isis where Ancestors no longer has 0.5 multiplier versus heroes, but 0.25, which basically means that if you have, say, 4 or 5 Hersers on both town centers, then they can actually take care of the Ancestors Eclipse, which was not the case before. So it's a big nerf to the ultra-fast heroic that we're seeing now, and Ulysses has an option of dealing with it.
Yeah, and with the unique tech for Herser through Hall of Thanes, plus the relic, which was snagged, we'll have to see if he actually is the one that picked that up. Maybe it was denied on the other side here. Yeah, looks like hero speed was denied on the other side, so really great pickup there from Grass to deny that relic. But yeah, just a couple Herser in the base. I feel like Ancestors Eclipse is still very powerful, but probably just less powerful versus the Norse. They're the best equipped to deal with it.
Yeah, and Prosperity was cast on the side of Grass to where he's floating about 600 to 500 gold right now at a comfortable position. And then the vice versa, Ulysses is starting to border up some of his wood lines to make sure that his units or gatherers are going to be safe in gathering those resources.
Yeah, and this is not a revealed map. This is obelisks, and it looks like he found the angle. So we have Ancestors Eclipse dropped off right inside of the base. And like you were saying, Soup, we've got the Herser there, so the Sphinx is going to get out right away. Ancestor's still going to do some damage, but I really like this wall preemptively. It's not fully complete, but it's enough to delay these Ancestors from finding most of the villagers. We're still going to get some going down here.
Definitely, and these villagers are getting hit right now by just a few of the minions right now that are going on that backline, but they are able to get safely back to their town center for the most part. A majority of that mass went towards the northern part of the area where Grass was not able to effectively scout out to see. He's not going to get the most effective use of that wombo combo. However, he does catch out a second gold mine at that second TC where he is able to get a little bit more value, but the Herser are able to respond to this pretty quickly. However, we do see at least 4 dwarves drop in the northern part, from that Ancestry's Clips combo.
Ooh, that's huge. While you were calling the shots there, I was counting the villager kills, and I only counted 2 up until I saw the action on the gold mine there. Ulysses was doing a fantastic job up until then, though.
Yeah, but I gotta say, you know, damage done, but it's not the destructive damage we've come to expect from Ancestors Eclipse, right? This base is very much intact.
Yeah, but if you look at the front line right now, you have the Scorpion Man with a couple cavalry going on with the support from the priests, just being able to pressure that temple early on and perhaps even push further. Notice that we don't have any upgrades on the watchtowers to be able to produce any tower engagement on these units that are pushing in. So this temple is going to fall without a trade.
Yeah, I think at this point it's just a game of can Ulysses hold on long enough for this heroic age to come through, because that's going to make a huge difference. Tower upgrades come up, that's going to help a lot to get that done. But wow, I like this play. This is such a powerful move here, just to drop this stronghold right on the gold mine. That is denied. I mean, we still do have Dwarven Mine, right? So he's going to be all right for a bit, but great denial.
Great denial. Just being able to put a stronghold directly on your opponent's second TC as well as a gold mine allows you to have a lot of leverage in controlling where the map state is going to be. And right now, you have to think that Ulysses is wondering, how am I going to get out of a position in which I've given up map control to Grass early on?
Yeah, Grass coming in for a raid. Gonna get some doors here for sure.
Yeah, Scorpion Man with his potent poison is going to go directly onto these units as they trickle down one by one. One villager does go down, 2 dwarves go down. A third might drop if he's able to. Nope, only 2. Third will now drop, so he's able to get 3 dwarves on that little raid and skirmish in the northern part of the map.
But Heroic Age held through. Still have the natural gold mine in the base available, so no Dwarven Mine cast yet still. But there's not really much of an army, right? That's the challenge, is we don't really have much of an army. There's the Dwarven Mine finally getting cast, waiting for that Heroic Age. Very smart. You get double the amount of gold if you can hold off to the Heroic Age. Or is it triple? Is it just 1,000 in the classical? I should know this.
It's 1,000 classical, 3,000 in heroic.
Yeah,
3,000 heroic.
So the extra 2,000 gold by just holding off a little bit for that. Still even going on this gold mine at this point, I think. You've already cast it. You might as well pivot to that Dwarven Mine, get the faster speed. We'll see, but Grass with full map control, and I gotta just show his vision. This is not revealed map. This is what Grass can see, and it's pretty much everything. He's got full information on what's going on this map.
Ulysses is definitely
I wish that Grassengroom would build a siege works here, because he's got the total army control, but he just cannot siege down any of the buildings. And Ulysses has got his base spread right now with barely any military. So just get some elephants, some siege towers, and you can really deal a lot of damage here.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And one last thing to consider too is that Ulysses is elected to put down his healing spring on top of his first town center as a point of contention, be able to heal his units during these trades, so it is not in a forward position, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but his units won't be able to effectively utilize that during engagements on these gold mine or these strongholds that are coming up. And the siege works does come up, just like Soup had said that would be nice, so anticipate some of the siege to join into the army, where Grass is going to push in further and further.
And another prosperity cast, so gold gonna go up drastically here. We've got Pharaoh damage coming to increase, I guess expecting some myth units, and we do have a couple battle boar. And I don't know, Soup, what do you think? You think anyone's looking mythic age here, or do you think Grass is gonna put the pedal to the metal and start taking down infrastructure?
It's gonna be pedal to the metal, and then Ulysses is going to have to try to amass enough of an army to get a good flaming weapons off. And it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, definitely gonna be hard, because this is not that army that Flaming Weapons is making a big difference in. Interestingly, Jarl coming out. We don't see a lot of Jarl, so excited to see those coming out here. Siege Tower hitting the Great Hall.
You know, there's the forward monument here too, with the Pharaoh nearby, that means Grassengroom can easily heal all these units back up with the AoE healing.
Not to mention denying God Power cast, right? I guess none of these really matter. You can cast Flaming Weapons wherever you want, but if we do see a Mythic Age come through, we can get a bit of a denial with that monument. But yeah, you're exactly right, Soup. You just need some Siege Towers, and I don't know that Ulysses can actually defend this. This mass is just massive.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about Grass for a moment. I mean, you're a young kid on the stage, one of the youngest pros to play an RTS at this stage, and you're showing up not just in the Red Bull Woololol, where you were able to become a semifinalist, but now you're participating in the Underworld Showdown, prepping for Genesis, and just showing these pros that have played the game since the original that guess what? I might not have played the original, but I'm just as good, if not better than you, perhaps.
Yeah, agreed. And I think it's especially interesting that Grass is selecting for Egyptian play, because I feel like I'd be curious on your thoughts on this as well, Sue, but I feel like the Egyptians play the most different from Titans to the new. You know, it does feel the most different than other civs that feel more or less the same, but I'd be curious on your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, like you see the strategy Grass went for here, you can do that in the old game too, honestly. Fast heroic, ancestors on economy, and then just follow up with gold control and, you know, sieging down either side of the base. You can do that in the old game. I think my vote for the civilization that changed the most would be Atlantean.
Yeah, a lot of unit changes. I guess, you know, everyone had the God Power recast changes, which I love. I think that was a fantastic change for Retold, giving everyone the ability to cast multiple.
Dude, I remember when the interview came out and they said they were going to introduce that, everyone hated that idea.
I loved it right away.
It was such a great change.
Well, okay. I was very skeptical too, but once you play with it, once you play with it, it's just such a good change, and it's so nice being able to cast Prosperity twice like Grass did here. Planning around that, it's so cool.
And we see the second stronghold come up on Grass's side, and his mass is starting to form quite tremendously, where he's outscaling Ulysses on the unit counts. The Scorpion men are leading the charge right now with the Sphinx towards the initial base as the chariots follow in. This army's huge, and they're just going to be able to take down some houses and towers, push in a little bit further, dance along the way with Ulysses as his units are dancing towards the back of his town center. Is he going to choose this as the point of engage, or is this the point where he decides, you know what, we're going to wait a little longer? But the chariots are exposed as the battling bulls move in. A little bit of a knockback, but nothing crazy. But the priest turned back directly onto the battling bull, and it does survive. But man, good damage. Let's see if he puts those units back on the healing spring to recoup that damage.
And I wanted to toggle this vision because, again, this is Thor's weakness, right? You don't see any of the map. You don't have any good scouting. You're stuck in your base the entire time. He doesn't know what's beyond right outside of his map. All he knows is there's a lot more units than what he has.
It's Thor's weakness. It's also Ulysses' weakness. He's had plenty of opportunities to just send one scout and cover the right side if he wanted to. Yeah. There's the flaming weapons.
Flaming weapons cast, but I think Grass can just walk away slowly.
Grass's unit speed alone, his units allows him to get away for the most part. However, it does look like a few priests are going to get caught out on the back end of this mass, where the battling bulls looking to get a knockup or two. And where we go, there is a knockup on the chariot archers as the troll goes in, follows with his special attack, knocking back a few more units. However, Grass does choose to engage underneath his strongholds, where he turns back onto the main mass of Ulysses. Right now, the priests are working on the battling bulls, knocking them out one by one. However, the flaming weapons is doing tremendous damage towards Grass's main army. Right now, they're getting wiped. However, there is still a potency where Grass's units are taking out the strong components of Ulysses. The battling bulls are knocked out or dead. Right now, the mass might be wiped. However, a potency of Ulysses' army is knocked away. Will Ulysses be able to turn this into one of these two strongholds?
Yeah, I mean, great pushback. Hopefully you can take one of these down. Looks like he might retreat back to the Healing Springs, and that's why I almost wonder if this would have been better off in the forward part of the base, so you don't have to retreat all the way back to the back in a situation like this. You could just take this stronghold if Healing Springs was right over here, but maybe just worried about it getting capped with all the strongholds coming up. And we don't see really a hint of a Mythic Age from Ulysses, but we do see a hint on the other side here, stacking up the food, stacking up the gold. I think we're probably going to get a meteor shower in here pretty soon.
I don't even know what Grass is. Yeah, maybe that is what he's doing. It's just that was such a good flaming weapon from Ulysses, and that is without having access to gold for like 3 or 4 minutes prior to it. Very impressive, still being able to amass that much of an army.
Yeah, and just out of sight, right? We talked about how great his vision was on the map, but Grass doesn't know that we have a whole bunch of dwarfs right here. Priests starting to come out that way. Maybe he'll find it, but deciding if your units are elsewhere, I'm just going to come get your villagers.
Yeah, the raid is effectively going on.
Coming in too.
And he's just going to take down a lot of these gatherers that were on this back wood line without any defense. Because Grass has those two Mytho strongholds protecting that top line, it effectively cuts out that second TC from Ulysses' initial town center.
Yeah, doing really good damage here. And again, the Healing Spring's not really being affected. It's too far back. These units are all still low from the earlier skirmish, so really would like to see those healed up. But the dwarfs do still find the gold. He's got plenty of gold income at this point, plenty of wood income. But we, as Soup said, we see Toth coming through. So this base is going to take significant damage in about a minute here when that finishes.
The forward gold mine here is so sneaky from Ulysses, and poor Grass has no clue about it. He could deal so much damage if he saw it. Maybe he will now.
Yeah,
Oh,
looks
these
like he's
camels are looking
suspicious.
like he's suspicious. He's going towards the sea and the lake, and he notices the dwarves. He smacks down over 15 plus cavalry directly onto that ox cart, and he's just going to knock him out completely. And oh man, the transformation doesn't help. That gold mine is completely lost. Ulysses is able to answer with a Vital Stronghold knockdown with his initial army. However, Grass has plenty of units to be able to respond to that directly underneath that second Vital Stronghold that he holds. However, Grass looks to have had the better of that trade.
How many villagers went down? Was anyone counting? Because that was a lot of dwarfs that were exposed there.
I didn't do the counting, but we gotta give props to Grass here. He's raiding the top side and then forcing Ulysses to go back to his base, and then after that he raids this gold mine.
Yeah, and
So
here
that
now
was really well played.
it's a patience game, right? Like, we could take this fight, but if we wait for champion chariots and champion camels, and then we drop the meteor shower, that could be a finisher. He does see these villages coming back out, but we have just another big engage. Battering rams even getting on the stronghold here. Plenty of priest out to take care of the mid units, and there's the meteor shower. Does he have vision, though? It looks like maybe running a few camels into the base. Yes, it's going to sneak those in there and just get the meteor shower off, but will they get close enough in time? Backing out, they see the battle ball. What to stop them from getting in there?
Yeah, and then, you know, right now these camels are effectively holding back this mass army against that Vital Stronghold while it's still up. The priests are doing very effective in taking out these troll lines as well as battle boars in the back end, and Grass just looks like he's about to wipe it out. The first Phoenix on the map does come out, ready to clean up the rest of this fight as his masses are going to be pushing towards his initial base. When is that meteor, and the meteor does not get cast, Grass is able to take the first game of this series.
Oh, did we miss? I see in the chat ancestors on gold. Do we see an ancestor cast? I don't know if I saw that get casted out, but it could have been. Yeah, we had 100 favors stacked up to be able to cast that if we wanted to. So I think once the mythic age came through, Ulysses knew he did not have a way back into this game.
That's so well played by Grassengroom. I love the strategy. Like, you're against Thor on Tundra with that much food in your base, and you go for this ballsy fast heroic with the forward Migdal. I really loved to see that.
Yeah, really well played. Fantastic game. Let's check out the post game there. Big armies over on the side of Thor, but yeah, I like the pressure, and in particular, I think the map tells more of the story here because just this basically wall that he built around Ulysses' base to lock him in, and we saw the one slip inside of that wall. We did get to this gold mine, but that raid was enough to kill at least 10 dwarfs. Must have gone down during that raid, and that was enough to, you know, we don't even see the villager count higher for Grass. It just, he kept his army alive, kept healing up the camels with the priest, and was very efficient with his spend on military production, which nets him to win. It's a great game. All right, Jay, we got to fix your camera also, and Super, are you hanging out with us for the whole series?
Yeah,
All
sure.
right, fantastic. So Jay, let's get your camera back up. I sent you the link. Or did he already jump it? Yeah, I think he already jumped back, so it's just us in here. So he's in the lobby with Ulysses, and we'll see Grass jump in there in a little bit. So let me update our draft chart here, and we'll see what happens in the next match. So we've got the win for Grass on the first map, Marsh, with Isis. We'll give him the check for that one. Well played by Grass. And what are you thinking here for next gods coming up? Any thoughts on what they might be going for?
Who's picking? So it's
so Ulysses will get to pick the map, and then it's blind god picks.
I think he wants to go for Odin now, and he's going to pick. What are the maps? I can't even see them.
Yeah, they're pretty small. So we got Alfheim, Anatolia is banned. Water. No, this is not Watering Hole. Hang on, let me.
Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon, thank you. Blue Lagoon is available. Ghost Lake, Kirklagar, Oasis, Midgard, Savannah, Tundra,
Odin Blue Lagoon is my guess.
Yeah, Blue Lagoon, great map for Odin. Plenty of hunt on that map, and it's open, right? So you can get that early aggression. Really difficult to wall yourself in on that map.
It's hard. Blue Lagoon is sometimes it's open, sometimes it's not. Like, there's cliffs and there's forests and lakes, so it depends a lot on the spawn. Sometimes it feels like you can't even maneuver around, but
do you ever feel like that in these games where you just get a bad spawn and it's just not a lot you can do about it? Or do you think it's pretty consistent?
Yeah, it happens, but overall I think it's very, very consistent. Like, sometimes on certain maps like Marsh, so on your side you can have a river guarding 2 gold mines and 2 packs of hunt, and on the other side, on your opponent's side, there'll be no river, there'll be no safe resources. Like, you get a spawn like that, and you can really feel like you're just getting screwed. But I would say, honestly, 95% of the time, I think you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It does feel more consistent than AoE 4, AoE 2, the other games in the Age of series that I've played a lot of, where sometimes you get the forward gold mine and your opponent has the back gold mine, and you're in trouble from there on. I feel like we do get less of that in AOM.
So we do have the next matchup aligned.
Okay.
Ulysses has elected to take Marsh once again. We are going to be playing on Marsh. There's nothing against the rules by picking the same map.
We didn't say it was out after that.
So we will be playing Marsh, and Ulysses has elected to play Odin, while Grass is elected to play Freyr. We're going to have a mirror matchup on the Norse, on Marsh. Grass is hosting the game mat. There is a password change. Take a look at the pre-tournament information panel. You'll see the new password. And it will be as selected as the lobby name. Grass is working on that on our side. Husk, while we are waiting for the lobby to be formed, what do you think about a mirror matchup in this case? Both of these guys are going to have access towards that same double hunt line that we saw in the last game. Do you think that any of these gods have any advantage against one another between Odin and Freyr?
Well, the icon here is Marsh. Is it like the one we just played was Tundra, and I think the one really picked here is Marsh.
We did have that mistake. I noticed that when we started the game. We fixed that right now. Thank you, Soup, for updating that.
Okay, so are we playing Marsh or Tundra now?
I believe we're playing Marsh now. We did play Tundra last match, though. So I want to fix that.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, apologies. Yes, we are switching up the maps to Marsh.
Yep.
So I mentioned just now that Marsh spawns are really different. I think if you get one of those spawns, especially on Frey's side of the map, where you have a big river guarding a bunch of resources, I would say this is potentially Frey favored. Otherwise, if it's open, I would say Odin favored.
Yeah, so a bit depending on the spawn. We'll look at that right away. Do you have a confirmation on the lobby name, Jay? I searched Underworld SM.
I have a host, but not a start yet.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no worries. I'll just keep refreshing until we get it.
While we're waiting, why don't we show the graphics of the two players one more time now that we have this second matchup placed? Let's display Grass and Ulysses's infographics so players can once again see what these guys are bringing to the table. Grass, being one of the youngest pros on the AOM scene, did place as a semi-finalist in the Red Bull Wololol, which is a very impressive achievement, where he did unfortunately lose to the Mista in that semi-final matchup. And on the other hand, we're going to have Ulysses, who is the highest seeded player in this tournament, as well as one of the highest seeded players on the ladder itself. Ulysses is a household name in AOM right now with the way he's been playing. And we're excited to go into game 2 to see if we can draw out a third game.
Yeah, one of the things I'll call out for Grass is it's one of the few players that we have actually putting a lot of time into Freyr, and we get him picking that this game. So I'm excited to see what sort of strategy we have. I know most of the ladder people are just playing all of the unique minor gods that Freyr gets access to. I don't know if that's really the correct decision. Some of them are quite good. I mean, the Asgardian Bastion is obviously very strong, but I'm curious to see how he plays it and if he has different strategies there, potentially going through Heimdall or something else in the later ages.
And we see the co-caster player card.
Yeah, while we're pulling up that co-cast, Matt, I think that the lobby should be ready any minute now, so we can search for that same name again. If not, we'll just do Undershow and see if by mistake we went to that name.
Okay, yeah, I'll just search on Under. There's probably not that many games out there right now. Although I feel like there's a lot of custom games, really. Like a lot of people doing custom games. One of the things I love about AOM is all the custom games you get.
Yeah, a lot of players decided to do that. It's quite nice, actually.
All right, and I've got the game.
Appreciate all the support, guys, throughout the channel. I have not done a call out. Let me pull up the donations page to see if we have any donations that have come through in the last few games.
Yeah, and I'll update that right now with the updated counts.
Taking a look right now, we do not. We have a $5 donation that came through. Paul, we appreciate you adding in to the prize pool. Adam Savage, we appreciate you throwing another $25 into the prize pool. You guys are contributing to the money that the players will be able to earn. So thank you very much. Another way to add to the prize pool without donating any money is just following us on our YouTube channel. For every 100 subs that we've gotten during broadcast on YouTube, we will be adding an additional $50 to the prize pool from the Underworld Showdown team to the prize pool. Our goal is to hit $1,000 by the end of the tournament to be able to classify this as a S tier tournament for the players, not just to increase the prize pool. So hopefully the players get a lot more money out of it, and hopefully we can elevate the Underworld Showdown to the next level.
Perfect. And with that, Jay, if you want to post any links related to that, I'm going to go ahead and switch us and let's get into this game.
Definitely. We are going to be posting the updated bracket to YouTube or to the Twitch channel, as well as the Underworld Showdown Liquipedia page, where we have tournament information. If you guys have any questions, please comment in the chat. One of the team members will reply as soon as we are able, and if not, we will get to it. Let's get into the game.
Spawning in at the southeast, we have Grass playing as our first Freyer. And on the top side, we've got Ulysses playing as Odin. So Norse Mirror should be a fun matchup. A lot of Hunt. Oh yeah, we have Great Hunt. I'm an idiot. I was gonna say that's a huge Hunt pool, but Great Hunt cast, expanding that out there. Let's take a look at the map. I'm curious what you think. It looks pretty open.
Yeah, we have a couple town centers in the middle of the map to be able to be contested early on. Every time we've casted this map on this channel, players have elected to go directly towards those second town centers in the middle of the map. I wonder if we have any differentiation this time around. Let's take a look at the relics real quick to see if they might have any impact on the game.
Yeah, one of the things I love about this map, relics all right in the middle. So Black Lotus, really good if the game goes long. Bow Artemis, also really good. Cheaper range soldiers and myth units, very good relic. Anvil of Hephaestus in there, another great relic. Heroes do more damage to myth units. Wow, we've got a small trickle of favor, not bad either. And then Armor of Achilles, Jay, we finally got it back. I feel like we cast 10 games in a row with this one, but man, these are some impactful relics for this Norse Mirror.
In the soup, are any of these relics one that you would prioritize first if you saw on the map? What would be the first one of these that you want to run towards?
Well, the infantry one looks juicy, doesn't it, in a Norse Mirror?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Damage versus myth units, always a good one, because there's going to be lots of myth units. The farm one you can disregard on March.
Yeah, fair.
The armory one is good too. Yeah, like all of them are really just worth picking up, it seems.
Yeah, and even Anka Ra, I feel like typically small trickle of favor is not that effective, but particularly in the early game as a Norse god, you do struggle a bit in favor generation, so I could actually see that having a pretty solid impact in this match.
Yeah, and when you're playing Frey, there's a lot of upgrades you want in the heroic age. Plus, you want to start spamming Rock Giants, so just having that additional 10-15 favor, however much it's going to be at that point, can be quite substantial.
Settle a debate for me, Soup. Is the Rock Giant the best myth unit in the game right now?
Yeah, for considering it's in the heroic age, yeah, you can make that case.
Yeah, I feel like it just does more than a Colossus, and you get it in an age earlier. You know, it's just
a
tremendous unit.
We gotta incorporate Soup into our next tier list and to have him join us for that content. I feel let's have a pros view of what the casual casters and players, we're involved in the scene obviously, but to have Soup join in for that video would be quite fun.
We are not pro players, so that's you could take any of our tier lists with a grain of salt because we're not playing at the highest level. We're just watching it. Well, it looks
can you reveal the map, because there's something I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Look on Grass's side of things. He's got this river on the left side, and it's covering a town center, a gold mine, and a bunch of hunt.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. When you're playing Frey, this is what you're looking for.
Yeah, so where would you go with this? Would you look to get the Asgardian Bastion just to cover up this entrance, and then you can build out all your gatherers over here, keep them safe with the water? You think that's what we're looking for?
I don't even know if he's going to go for Uller, but if he is, yeah, just get it somewhere up in the middle.
Yeah, and I've got the players on the wrong side. Let me flip those, because that is actually Ulysses going up through Freya, and we have on the other side, we do have Uller coming through here, so we are going to get the Bastion.
Well, the thing is, when he's got such a nice map here, it doesn't even matter too much where he places the Bastion, so long as he secures that left side.
Yeah, it's more about being able to get the husk roll out. Well, I guess you probably don't need to get the husk roll out in a Norse mirror, but if we do choose to get the U-logs blessed for the civilization, we get battering rams out inside the classical age. I have seen that be really strong.
You don't see people do it very often though, because they cost 250 resources. And that's 250 resources being spent on siege weapons, meaning that's 250 resources not being spent on raiding cavalry or whatever. So if you do spend that much on siege weapons, there's a good chance that you're just going to get overrun by your opponent.
Yeah, and we see Ulysses coming out with the big win when it comes to the relic. Already picked up the 3 we talked about that are quite useful. Picking up the farms as well. And the last one here, yeah, Bow of Artemis does get picked up over by Grass. So that's a nice snag, very good relic. And there's only the one left on the map, which I think was one of the ones you called out as one of the most important in this matchup.
Yeah, I really like getting that. You know why this is happening is because Grassengroom is getting his arcade gauge upgrades. So his temple is delayed, his first initial Herser is delayed, whereas for Ulysses he's got that hunt bonus, meaning not only did he not invest into those upgrades, he's also got additional food coming in.
Yeah, that's a good
Definitely.
point.
We see some early initial harass back on the Valkyrie. That flaming forest flame fire comes down. However, no villagers are near it. It just looks like he's taking out that woodline, but he will create a little pocket from where that wall was being protected by that backline. So maybe in the future he will be able to take advantage of that opening that's been formed.
Yeah, nice.
I think most of all, it's just to force idle time on the wood choppers, make them go and strike the trees, and then take a new wood line. Forest fire is such a poor god power, so even if that's even if that's the value you get, that you'll just take it.
Yeah, I feel like the only time I've seen a really good use is if you take down a couple buildings with it, but at this point people have learned not to build their buildings right next to a tree line, so that doesn't happen. But this is a big army coming in here, actually. Quite a sizable military lead inside of Grass's base, and we have not seen the Bastion drop down at any point yet. Probably worried about it getting killed if he was to drop it right now.
Yeah, Ulysses is effectively using his raiding cavalry to push early onto the production buildings of Grass. But in a unit standpoint, it does look like they're fairly evenly traded. Elijah is in the backline giving some buffs to Grass's standing. And it looks like Ulysses decides that this is not the engage he wants, allowing Ulysses or Grass to recover.
Yeah, recovering, didn't actually take down any significant infrastructure there, just a bit of a damage on the longhouse. But the big thing is, and we kind of expect this, right? Early in the game, Odin's going to get map control over the middle, but I really like, Soup, that you called out this pocket, because this is going to be so valuable for Grass here.
And Grass is playing it greedily too. He's going for the hippos on the right side first, saving all that nice stuff for later.
Yeah, gonna have a nice, safe defense. Any thoughts on why we haven't actually seen the Asgardian Bastion dropped at this point? Usually I see that dropped almost immediately just to get that hill fort up to defend, but it's pretty surprising we haven't seen it.
I think it's because he's, like I said, he's just playing greedily. He says, I'm not gonna do... Whoa, this is so unnecessary.
Yeah, this could be bad too.
Yeah, we have units from Ulysses running directly into the Asgardian Bastion area that is being placed down by Grass. However, his units do turn, going to do a dance back and forth between the Bastion as well as the units that are going on. Golem Burst is called. He's investing heavily into this Asgardian Bastion coming up, and the raiding cavalry go around the side. Will they be able to catch out any of these units or the villagers that are on the southern side? It does not look like they will. The Golem Bursty and the units are able to draw Ulysses away from the Bastion, as it looks like it might get completed in time.
Yeah, and the Golem Bursty needing to be invested to keep this up, but it's not even going to get a single hit on. You can see how slow this unit becomes when it gets too far away from the base, and he's even just going to idle it there because he knows there's no way that Ulysses is going to take that engage.
I wonder
it's a good use of Golden Bursty still, once he committed to the Bastion there. Like, you see how easy it is for him to get it up now, but... Yeah, can you maybe look at the Grassengroom's perspective? Has he?
Yeah, let's look at Grassengroom's perspective to see if he scouted the southern portion of this map.
He
hasn't found the full value there.
He doesn't know it's closed off, so doesn't realize how strong that spot is. Yeah, because I would have expected the Bastion right here pretty early, but he just doesn't know yet.
I think that's a good lesson for all you aspiring Frey players out there. Get a second Berserker really soon and just scout your own side. Like, really get a good idea of what the map looks like, and then you don't make a mistake like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Soup does such a great job in that Raw video where he prioritizes vision beyond anything, just to be able to know what the map state looks like, so you can take advantages that are given to you
without you even knowing. And it looks like we are going to have an engagement in the middle of the map where Ulysses' army runs in directly towards Grass, and the Grass is going on the retreat on the back end. However, it does look like one or two of these myth units are going to be caught out. One does drop. However, the full turn does not happen, and they do now, right outside of the range they are, is Guardian Bastion. They're going in, and this looks like an unfavorable trade for Grass early on. The units are going on. Nothing's going on to the back line of the throwing axe, but yet while they're already able to get picks onto the opponent's range cavalry, but they're all dead now. They're just dropping like flies one by one. It looks like Grass got caught out on a mistake.
Yeah, Valkyrie number is really good, and a lot of these villagers are going to go down if he doesn't pull them soon. And even if he does, I feel like this army can probably take out the Bastion if they really want to commit to it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it just looks like a misposition on Grass's part, not being able to fully be able to know what is going on with his opponent's mass. And when he was caught out, Ulysses was able to punish him very effectively. Now he's going towards this our Guardian Bastion and going to be knocking it out. We do see the next age up happening right now as well, where Ulysses gets to age 3.
No. I was hovering over the Draugr unique tech, so actually investing further into the Draugrs. I don't think we don't see an age 3, right? Am I crazy? No age 3 coming in.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah. I misread the icon.
Yeah, so it's the Draugr unique tech, which is interesting and a little unfortunate because they all just died, right? In that engage, he had the 2, but they got picked off. So now you've got stronger Draugrs that don't exist, and wow, calling it early.
Grass says, let me just reset. Let me clean up my head from this last match because I made a few misplays. He wasn't able to establish the vision on the map to know that he had an advantage on the south part where he would able to effectively put that Bastion down to defend him. And he just says, let me go to game 3. Let me clear my head and let me get to where we need to be. Absolutely.
So really nice game. I will try and update the scoreboard. You guys got the... Oh, nice. Okay, so someone's updating it for me in the background. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate
I'm going to leave you guys for a moment while I get the next lobby going.
Yeah, I love that we're getting a crowdsourced community event here. This is fantastic. But thoughts of the game, Soup?
Yeah, very interesting. So unfortunate for Grass he didn't scout it properly, because that is such a hard play to make what he made here. He has to... There's a forest in the way, as you can see here. And even when he got the Bastion up with the use of Gulin Bursty, it was rather easy for Ulysses to just keep spamming those units. Raiding Cavalry, throwing Axemen, like Ulysses kind of autopiloting this game to victory because Grass didn't really utilize the map he was granted.
Yeah, just didn't know, right? And if he knew this was here, we might even see a second TC come up. The Bastion gets to cover this. Yeah.
Would you be able to pull up the draft just so we could see the gods? Both players would like to see what they have available left in their pool from their selected champions.
Absolutely.
Gods from you.
So we'll update this. Ulysses taking Marsh, taking the win on Odin. So Odin is out of the pool, and Freyr also out of the pool. So we've got Poseidon, Loki, or Kronos as options for Ulysses, and on the other side we have Gaia, Hades, or Oranos for Grass. So likely seeing an Atlantean here since Hades was his last pick.
We have Kronos, Poseidon, and who is the third god for Ulysses?
Loki.
Ooh, I think Ulysses is gonna go. I think he's gonna go Loki.
Yeah, it seems like Norse is the theme of this game, right? Everyone liking the Norse gods, even if it didn't pick up all of the wins. But we'll have to see. Loki. I'm thinking Loki versus Oranos is coming, but I guess we'll have to wait for the players to pick.
Oh, is it map first, right? And then
map picks first. And
who picks?
Since Grass went down to that match, he gets to pick the next map.
He should probably go for a map where Norse is not gonna be so good. So maybe something like Savannah and then Oranos. I think that's a good choice for Grassengroom.
Okay, well, we'll have to see what he picks. Is Grass going to be joining in this chat, Jay, you think, or are we doing this last pick offline?
Offline. We are working on it. The map has been selected. We are not ready to announce it just yet, as players are still selecting their gods, but we will have that update for you within the next minute.
Okay, sounds good. I'll call it a couple things in the chat. I've seen questions, and again, just everyone knows that we're kind of learning as we're going with a lot of this. Donation prize pool split. What we are doing there is half the prize pool goes to this event, the other half goes to the next Underworld Showdown. We'll have an announcement at the end of the stream talking about the next Underworld Showdown, and the split is going to be of the prize pool to this event, 50% to the winner, 30% to second place, and 20% to third place. So that's how we're splitting out the donations as they come through. I think that was the only question we had in here. And again, just shout out whoever it is that's out there updating our scoreboard, because that is very helpful.
Can you link the YouTube in the chat? I saw someone asking for it earlier.
Absolutely. Let me grab that right now.
Definitely.
So
we do have the next match selected between this for a Game 3 title decider in the quarterfinals. We will be playing on Midgard for the last map.
Ooh.
Midgard.
People seem to love Midgard.
Yeah, people seem to really enjoy it. It's been a big map that we've selected a few times now. Ulysses has selected Kronos for his final god pick.
Wow.
And Grass is elected to go for Gaia. So we will have a Titan versus Titan Atlantean matchup, the final matchup of this series.
That is exciting. I did not see an Atlantean mirror coming on this one. We already saw Kronos go down once on Midgard, so we'll see how this match goes.
I will say the fish on Midgard is extremely poor. And this is why I picked Kronos, because in my head I said, I'm just going to get 3 fishing spots and nothing else. But then Vortex, he one-upped me, and he said, I'm not going to get any fishing spots. And it turns out that's the better option on Midgard.
Yeah, what makes the fishing so poor? Is it the distance from the shoreline that you have to deal with? Is that what makes Midgard fishing worse than other maps?
It's like you build the first dock, and you will have 3 fishing spots there. That's pretty much guaranteed. I think that's in the spawn code or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then from there, the next fishing spots seem to be super far away. So if you have one dock and you build, say, 6 fishing boats, 3 of them are going to be so far away from that first initial dock, and it's just not worth it. Like, you see, if I invested really heavily into water and Vortex playing Thor did not, I'm just going to get overrun, because it's just not worth it with these poor fishing boats in the classical age. It doesn't provide me anything.
Yeah, it's interesting. Glad we got that context, because I was really curious about that, opting completely out of water. I think Vortex is the only player, and that was the only game that we've had fishing available that someone has decided right from the start that they're not even going to touch it. But that makes sense. If the extra spawns for the fish are too far away, that efficiency goes way down for your fishing ships.
Yeah, it really does.
So, what would you think in this mirror matchup for land? Which god do you think has a little bit of advantage on Midgard?
I would say Gaia has an advantage. With Gaia, you get access to Persane in classical age, so it does actually make sense to go for water. Whereas Kronos, he's got the option to rush, which is which is nice, and which can be very tricky for the Gaia player to, react accordingly to. But she's got the Gaia Forest to defend her. She's got the initial citizen heroes, which can fight back against the early Prometheans. So all in all, I would say Gaia is better here.
All right, well, we are ready to get into the game. Are you guys ready?
We are getting the lobby created. We are almost there.
I see it. It's ready.
See it?
Yeah,
Very
we can
good.
jump
Let's
in
get
right now.
into the game then.
Let's do it. We actually did it successfully this time around, so we're learning.
And now, not to call out anybody while Soup is also in the chat, but we do have the first potential, possibly if Grass wins, Aces player making it to the semifinals.
Yeah.
Can we see Aces take a player back against Keen or Fox in this matchup?
All right, well, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Grass here. I'm calling it, Ulysses. You gotta prove me wrong. We got Grass spawning in on the northwest of the map, playing as Gaia versus his opponent, Ulysses, playing as Kronos. Let's take a look at the map. I don't think there's anything special that happens on here, but I do want to look at the fish. Yeah, and you can see we've got the 3 right there, but man, Soup, you bring up a great point. There's nothing that way, and then we've just got the 3 over here and nothing else for a while, so I can see why people are opting out. But
even this is like a pretty good spawn. Like, the 6 fishing spots here are actually decent enough, but then other than that, it's just poor.
Yeah, really poor, and it looks like both players opting for it, so we'll have to see, do they stop at 3 or do they keep it going on the water? We'll have to find out.
And in Twitch chat, can we get ones in the chat for Grass, for if you want him to win this game, And can we get 2s in the chat for Ulysses to win this game? I want to see who the lobby supports. Give me your 1s, give me your 2s. Let's see who's favored in the lobby.
Well, Soup made his position clear. We've got a couple 2s coming in. It looks like we got a lot more Grass fans going on right now, but yeah, I feel like this is a fan favorite matchup.
And I know Regulate and Flame are busy, and also because of time zones, it's unfortunate they can't join us for this broadcast. But if any other team member wants to join the analyst desk, even in mid-game, we will have you join in. Don't you worry. We are an equal opportunity provider for this tournament.
Nice little disclaimer. Well, we got pretty standard openings, right? You know, after playing a bit more Atlanteans myself, something that is just super nice is I feel like your openings are so relaxing playing the Atlanteans. There's not a lot of clicking required. You send your oracles out, do a little scouting, then let them sit there, and the villagers, they pretty much take care of themselves.
Yeah, let's take a look
say
at the
that, but on a map like Midgard here, if you're going for a 3:30 or a 4-minute advance where you want, say, 3 or 4 fishing boats and nothing more than that, it actually has to be quite precise.
Okay, well, we'll have to see who nails it first, because I expect that we'll see Kronos age up first in this matchup. We do not see the Economic Guild coming up at all yet, but that's probably expected on the water map. But I would think that we expect Kronos to get there first. What do you think, Soup?
Yeah, but yeah, for sure. One should expect that, but I think Ulysses also knows that it's hard. It's a hard game to play against Gaia. So I suspect maybe he's going for something crazy like a 2 TC boom, or yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that either.
Yeah, and I'm
Let's
curious.
take a look at the relic while we have a moment.
Oh, good call.
While both players are going.
Siege weapons take less space, nothing special there. Town center population is pretty nice. It doesn't make a huge difference, but more of a team game relic, but pretty nice. Fetter's a Fenrir, you know, we gave this an F tier, but we're seeing a lot of Shiv action recently with villagers getting involved in fights. Maybe that's not as bad as we thought it was. And then Pierce Armor Human Soldier is definitely nice to have.
You know, if you're playing Atlantean and you have Citizen Heroes, you have 2 for free when playing as Gaia. And you can use Valor if you're Kronos. And you have this relic, you can take down Cairo Ballistas in like 3 Shiv attacks or something.
Yeah, let's see. It looks like both players have spotted it out, so we'll have to see if either of them goes for it early. Right now, just typical scouting, and we still don't see an age up coming through on either side.
Yeah, crazy. I really would have thought Ulysses would have advanced already, but like I said, maybe he's going for a different game here. Maybe he wants to spam out oracles and go for Promethean spam or something. I don't know. He has to come up with something. He cannot just play an ordinary game.
Definitely. Yeah, Grass is going underneath the Oceana side right now for his age up in level 2. We do see the temple up on Ulysses' side, but he has not elected to go age up just yet. Oh, nope, there we go. Prometheus is up. Yeah. So we are going to follow and see if he is going to make impact of those Prometheans coming up.
Yeah, pretty expected from both players. You know, that's the expected age up. We'll have to see if the Servant gets any decent damage done. I feel like the class or the heroic and mythic age water units are incredibly strong. It didn't seem like the Servant was that powerful in that last game, but I feel like personally I haven't seen enough of it to really know how strong that unit is.
Yeah, the Servant's definitely a tier down from something like Askelia, without a doubt. They cannot be matched in the same bracket. However, to have it in age 2 does give you an advantage to be able to take down those ships early on. So it does have value, but maybe not perhaps as much as those heroic age C units. And can we just take a moment to appreciate how Gaia's green spread looks so great on the map? Great job, by the way, on Retold, how you've made the graphics absolutely insane compared to the previous games.
You guys play the beta at all?
Didn't have access.
Didn't have access.
Yeah, not the pre-beta. I guess there's several stages of beta.
The public beta.
Yeah, the public beta I did. We got a couple games in. Yeah.
Yeah, because they actually reworked the Gaia Lodge from then until the live version. And it's a significant improvement, the one we've got now. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, as far as the design of it. And they've made a lot of really good UI improvements. One of the ones I've really noticed is there's some maps where I felt like I couldn't see my farms at all, and they've fixed that issue. I think that was a really nice UI, and I feel like a lot of
really with the foliage, nice.
Yeah, really nice foliage, and even minor things like changing how the Egyptian monument buffs look. I think there are a lot of really good changes there. But we got our
Grass
Grass has his units ready to go against the cavalry. Ulysses taking out one cavalry right then and there. And now he's going towards the Prometheans. He does knock out the main Promethean, where he has a few minions to be able to knock down. He does take out that unit, effectively stopping Ulysses from being able to use that Promethean rush without a time shift directly onto his base.
Yeah, Valor coming in huge, right? Getting the Hero Terma out. Those Prometheans aren't going to do anything versus Hero Terma.
Grass is doing such a good job here, and the Caladria is getting so much value. Killed a Terma, killed a Promethean, and killed half of a Promethean here in the end as well. And it's all just in these early skirmishes. Yeah. And the Hero Termas are going to continue to have value against Kronos with Prometheus up.
Are the Terma too strong? I feel like for a counter unit, that unit's pretty good against everything.
Yeah, the speed I think is a bit worrisome. Did you see me? Yeah, I guess you did see my game against Vortex where I made a bunch of Aufschlags and they were just useless, right?
Yeah, being slower, less range, and less damage a lot of the time than Terma. I mean, the damage is not bad on Terma. I mean, 5.5.
I think the speed is the big issue. I think maybe they're a bit too good at hit and run tactics.
Yep, and that's what both players are opting for right now. It's Terma on Terma action. I guess they're just going to take this fight, and they will absolutely shred each other. These are technically counter archer units, so they do have that 4 times multiplier against ranged soldiers. So if they do take this fight, we're going to find one of the Hero Terma going down with that relic. Which one do we have here? This is the town center's population. Grass trying to grab it for himself, but also losing a Terma. So end of the day, Ulysses still hangs on to that one.
Definitely, securing that relic is nice. You do see a little bit of thinning of the units on Grass's side, with the Terma spam being bigger on Ulysses' side. So let's see if he's able to push any further with these units.
Yeah, and the military count jumped drastically to 900.
And you gotta love the AOM interface when it glitches like this. Just an unfair advantage, or unfair viewpoint.
Yeah, I'm wondering what this one is, but that's a lot of Terma in the base, and Villagers, nice little micro to get those to safety, but we got, they get those inside the manor as well, so really nice by Grass preventing any significant damage from this raid, but idle time, that Villager can't pop out or he's going to die. Manages to get it out just in time, but the pressure is starting to build from Ulysses. I wish I could see the real military count, but it does seem like he has a much more sizable force than what Grass has right now.
Can you look at Grassengroom's economic upgrades? Because there has to be an explanation why he's so far behind.
Yeah, we've got a market out early, and where's the economic guild over here? We should be able to see. I don't want to open that up right now.
And then you can see it.
Yeah, the Terma from Ulysses is going directly into the base, just seeing if they can spot out any of these villagers. However, the Caladria does slow one of them down. Maybe it is an option to pick it up, but it does not. They're able to get back to safely with the main mass, and they exchange ways effectively for now.
And this is the difference we see, right? Grass electing to go to the Heroic Age. That's why his army is primarily much smaller. He's getting up to Thea. He's going to get the Stimpbird out. I don't know that the Stimpbird's going to do a lot of damage here. I mean, Valor available with all these Terma. That Stimpbird's not going to be able to do a lot, but, the Minor God itself, very good.
You know what's a great counter to Terma? Is Contarius. And it just so happens when you go through Thea here, you get, look at all the upgrades coming in for Grass here. That's insane. But you're getting Poseidon's Secret, you're getting that ultra cheap, heavy cavalry upgrade, and now all of a sudden, all these Termas on the side of Ulysses, they're not going to have that much value.
That's a lot of Contarius. And even the Query already being pulled out, so the economy is about to be insane for Grass here.
And these Druids also are going to provide another layer of frontline for his main army to be able to engage Ulysses back on his own home front. So having those couple Druids off that first Hippolytus tree is actually going to be pretty massive for him to be able to take an engage of his own choice.
Here comes the first skirmish with the Contarius out. Heavy's Contarius already as well. And these knights are going to be doing a ton of damage to the Terma, and you're exactly right, Soup. He cannot turn around at all in this fight. He knows it's a lost cause.
Yeah, and the second TC in for Ulysses.
Nice.
Oh man, and Carnivoria is dropped right on top of the second TC, where it's getting advantage on these villagers that are going, but a massive chaos is dropped right on top of Grass's main army as his units are being routed by attacking one another. However, the Caladria is still doing massive damage on the back end, or the Carnivoria be doing damage on the town center. It looks like both players are locked to just restart and reset. However, that chaos has saved Ulysses from a potential world of hurt.
You gotta feel for Grass a little bit there. If he had been here just about 10 seconds sooner, that might have been entirely different and maybe able to deny the TC. But now, despite the economic advantages, we're going to start seeing that villager count rise for Ulysses. So is the tech better, or is just having more villagers? I'm leaning towards the tech. I still feel like Grass is in a really good position here.
You know, the reason why Grass is in such a good position is because he's got the better unit comp. Ulysses committed so heavily on those Termas, and Grassengroom just said, all right, fine, I'll sit in my base for a minute, I'll get those Contarius out, and then, yeah, this is the reason why we're looking at a situation like this.
Yeah, and look at these Contarius. Whatever they find, they're going to do big damage. Oh, we see the Satyr. Finally, we get some Satyr mass in one of these games. I'm excited to see this, but I don't think you can stand up to this army right now.
Area are going to be able to catch out this main mass, but they do not decide to turn back. They decide to elect to walk back away from the initial.
Need heroes there, like four Satyrs plus even a Promethean baby for what it's worth. Like, you do need heroes there.
Yeah, definitely. So opting out of that engage, probably looking to get some hero. I think just the one hero Terma available right now, but here we go. Hero rising a bunch of the Contarius.
Does he have Poseidon's secret upgrade?
You gotta think he's gotten it at this point, right?
You gotta right-click the unit itself, so right-click the Contarius, and then you can check it out.
Thank you. No, he has not gotten it. Big mistake, honestly, to not get that yet. Maybe favor constraint. I think 20 is enough. I don't know the exact cost.
Yeah, but key point is he has no oracles generating favor at this very moment, so he might be favor capped. However, his units are going to rush in directly towards the main line, checking out Ulysses' main army. However, does he get any drops on the military account? One unit does fall. The second stayer will fall too, as he decides to go fully engage onto this fight. The Stimfers and the Druads are falling right behind to follow up with any more damage that they can, and it looks like Grass is going to take an advantageous fight so far, but now he's fighting under the town center with the masses going against one another directly underneath that. Is this going to go in any one player's favor? We cannot tell just yet. However, it is starting to see that Ulysses' front is getting thinned out as Grass pushes further and further into his base, and some units go into getting some of these citizens to be knocked down now. Grass is taking advantage of this fight, and he is turning out to be a winner so far.
And crucially, the hero Terma, they knock out the Satyr right away with the Contarius, so no Satyr left inside of the army composition. And yeah, this is firmly in Grass's control at this point. The army's way stronger, got the extra Stimfbirds as well, and we're going to start seeing villagers dropping at this point because the army count is down to under 800 here for Ulysses, so really under, I think I only see like 10 military units out at this point.
And the key thing to note is these Stimfbirds are not getting enough pressure on them. Yes, there is a Styre right now that is formed onto them, but once that Styre falls, which it just did, these birds do have free reign outside of the town center, giving them harass. So he's able to effectively use those units to be able to pressure anything that comes up onto the map.
Is it enough damage though? Because with the 2 TC over here for Ulysses, he still holds that villager lead. It's been diminished pretty significantly from that raid, and we still have the larger army. But is this enough to really close out this game?
It doesn't look like it is. Well, Grass is retreating a little bit to the side. He's looking for new targets, including these three villagers that are being caught out. One does fall as the main mass goes in further. However, he does not elect to go for any of them on the farms, instead building a palace directly upon the base of Ulysses.
Yeah, I like the palace drop. Big map control here. Gaia's Forest cast? Did I hear that correctly? Where is that being cast?
Maybe just at home, just to get the forest. Yeah. But Deconstruct is up for Ulysses, so I don't know if I'm even that big a fan of this palace.
Yeah, you gotta think it's gonna be taken down immediately. You get the resources back, but still it's a lot of build time that's wasted. Yeah. I am surprised we almost didn't see it go through right there. I mean, he has full vision of it right now, but maybe looking for something else.
Definitely. Keep in mind, he could be trying to build up his favor to get another chaos for the next engage that the two armies do. So instead of choosing to deconstruct, it's very much possible that chaos is in line.
He's got the free cast though yet. He hasn't used it once yet this game. It is kind of a curious decision. Even just on production buildings, the temple, and well.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was feeling a little doomed. But I guess that's it.
The destroyers came in there. Now he can really start sieging, and yeah. You could have deconstructed the palace, then the destroyers wouldn't be in.
I just have to say, me and Matt called this matchup the matchup of our hearts because we love these two players. And to see Ulysses be dropped so early in the tournament is very sad. He is the highest seeded ranked, but Grass, the young gun, the young legend, his name is now Young Gun, is what we're going to call him on our stream podcast. That is his nickname. The Young Gun makes it to the semifinals, and he classifies himself into a potential third place prize
Yeah, I think great match from him. Great shout out, Soup, as far as getting heroic, switching to Contarius, and just really nullifying the entire army that Ulysses had. I think that was the game-winning decision that he made there. Knew he had enough of a base to hold on without a big army to get that heroic age. And once the Dryads came out and the Contarius came out, you know, it was a little surprising the timing of the surrender. I would have thought it maybe even would have been a minute sooner. But yeah, seeing the siege on this town center up there, he knew it was going down, and that was going to be the end of the game right there.
You know what would I love to see was Ulysses adding in catapulties, staying in classical and adding in catapulties in anticipation of the Contarius. That would have been a sick play.
That would have. All right. Well, we have our third of 4 semifinalists confirmed. Congratulations to Grassengroom for making it through to the next stage.